Welcome to Inside the Man Cave, a new digital series that's going to be coming to you fresh and hot off the press every first and third Mondays. You gotta tune in. I'm your host, Pastor Nelson Dexter Jr. I guess you're wondering, why did you start Inside the Man Cave, Pastor Dexter? Well, I have to answer that question for you. It really started on last year. We was having our Men's Month at our church, Temple of Praise Ministries, and during that time, man, we were focused in on men and men's issues, and that had a fire that was burning on the inside of me to really deal with some men topics. And so it is a passion of mine to really help men, to have meaningful conversation, to help break down the norms and the stigmas that many men live under. And so this is going to be absolutely positive. It is definitely going to give some insight and some understanding. And I just want to take this time right now to kind of give a background of myself. You know, I started out in industry. I was a computer engineer for several years before I became a full-time pastor. And during that time, you know, I really learned how to get really involved in technology. I had a great time doing it, but I love pastoring more than anything. And so Inside the Man Cave, I believe, is going to be a series that'll kind of help bridge the gaps in communication that men have. It's going to help them to become more accountable and be transparent, because sometimes that transparency and communication is difficult for men. But we want to take all of that off the table. We're going to make it really easy for men to be able to communicate. We're going to talk about some men issues. In this initial episode, though, man, I am really excited. And here's the reason why I'm excited. I have a friend, my brother, somebody you may be familiar with. His name is Devron Wilson. He's a local personality that's on the radio, and I'm telling you, this brother is an amazing guy. He is so amazing. I want to introduce him to you right now. Brother Devron, man, appreciate you being with me today, man.
Man, I wouldn't be nowhere else in the world but to be here with you on the inaugural show of Inside the Man Cave. And first off, I just want to say this studio, man, is top notch. But you heard that top?
Yeah. I heard it.
I mean, it's top notch, and I wouldn't think anything more than with you, because you're always a man of excellence, a man of class, and so I applaud you, man. This is really nice. I wish I could take this and sit it into my space.
Oh man.
Create me a man cave.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, Dev, it is. I talked a minute ago about my technology background, and so some of this it takes technology, right? This is a lot of technology that goes into these kind of things, and so it was a good fit. Yeah, it was a good fit, man. But I appreciate you being on.
Absolutely, I'm glad to be here. Can't wait to get into dive into some conversations.
Oh, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it tonight. So, Deb, this Inside the Man Cave digital series has been a long time coming. We've been talking about it several months. Me and you have been in discussions with the rest of the team, and I'm excited about it, man. I'm excited about what we're going to be discussing, and also I'm going to be really transparent. You know, this man cave thing is something that I believe is going to really touch the heart of a lot of people.
I agree with you on that. This has been a long time coming, and we just want to shout out the crew, the behind-the-scenes crew who make this happen, who make us look good, who make us sound good.
Now look, we got a phenomenal team. Now don't talk about my team.
Absolutely.
I'm telling you, we have a phenomenal team. And so you know, I want to talk to you really quickly, man, so we can like dive into this. I want to get your personal thoughts on the man cave. When somebody asks you, Devon, when man cave is mentioned, what comes to mind for you?
The first thing that comes to mind is my safe space for peace, serenity, and seclusion, just me. And that's the first thing that comes to mind. But I understand that a lot of people use a man cave for that reason, but also for the fellas to come in, shoot pool, watch the football game, basketball game, whatever that sport is. That's what we use at time. And it's away from the family, away from the wife, away from the kids, but it's your safe haven, the place where you can just kind of debrief from work or whatever it is that you might be dealing with. And so that man cave is that safe space, that safe haven for men to just kind of have their own little place to just kind of debrief and just do them.
I gotta ask you a question. Do you have your own man cave?
Man, I just asked you if I could take this set and put it in my house. No, I don't have a man cave.
Oh, man.
But you know, after looking at the set, and you know, we've been talking about this for some time now. It is. I need to designate a place in my house just to unwind and unplug. But now here's the caveat to that. I have my own place. I live alone.
So your whole
my
place
house
is a man
my
cave, man. As soon as you hit the door, you in the man cave then.
Right.
So
Yeah.
here's the thing. I do not have a man cave.
Really?
I have space, but my space I have converted several parts of it into office space and workspace and stuff like that. So I really gotta get me a man cave. But I got a treat for you.
Okay.
So we have a segment that's called On the Street, Man on the Street.
Man on the Street.
And so we've gotten some ideas from some men on what they think about man cave. And so what I want to do now, let's go into that segment. Let's see what they have to
Let's
say.
see this. Let's see it.
So Fred, if somebody asks you, what's your idea of man cave? What's your idea of man cave?
Idea of man cave would be a man's personal space. Yeah, everybody got to have a little place to go to connect. And that's what I would call a man cave.
Here's my second question. Do you have a man cave?
I do not know any longer. I did. Well, yes, I do. My garage is my man cave. That's where I go to feel good.
All right, my friend. Thanks, man.
All
When I
right.
think of a man cave, I think of a place specifically for a man, a place where he can decompress and recharge from the world, where he's able to be himself, enjoy the things that he likes to enjoy without any judgment, and be at peace. I don't have my own man cave, but when I get enough space, I definitely will, so I can go and watch all the sports I want to and play all the video games I want to play.
When you think of man cave, think of a place where a man can relax, unwind, free away from the family, spouse. It's just a place of peace. Unwind from the day. Unwind from the day, I'm sorry.
You have a man cave.
I have.
You looking to get one?
I would like to, but it ain't pressing right now. So I'll get one eventually.
All right, so Mo, if somebody asks you, what does man cave mean to you? What does it mean to you?
It's my personal space. I love to be here with my boys. We can talk, we can clown, but it gives me an area where I know I can be me and I can express myself with my friends without people coming in, running in, and it just gives me some personal time, man, to just really hang with the closeness. And we can watch the game, you know, we can talk about sports, we can talk real barbershop talking. That's what I love about the man thing.
So Mo, I'm in your man cave, man. I'm checking the man cave out. I'm liking what I see, man. So when you come in your man cave, what does it do for you, bruh?
Make me feel good, you know, I'm here, I'm comfortable. I think that's the biggest thing, you know. Even, you know, we had a family gathering now, but I know if I come up here, we can talk, we can watch the game, we can kind of just be us, and that's the good thing about the man cave. You know, my wife actually tried to take this man cave from me, but once again, I'm in a comfortable space, and this is what I like to be.
So Deb, what did you think about those brothers' opinions and thoughts on man cave? We even had one that had a man cave in there.
Absolutely. Yeah, I liked it. I thought that was a good feel for the show to kind of get people to get a good feel of what a man cave could possibly or potentially look like. But what I really particularly cared for with this is that most of the brothers all had the same idea: safe space, a place that you unwind with the brothers, of the fellas, or just yourself. And so I think that's what I pretty much took away from those interviews or those hits. And I love the fact that these are young black brothers, but they understand the concept and what it because we as men we don't talk about that.
No.
We don't talk about having our own safe space. Who talks about that? Think about it.
Some of that stuff is really off limits.
Right,
When
right.
you start talking about safe space, it almost it almost gives the concept of the thought that something's wrong with you and needs to be fixed.
Absolutely.
Right? And so
Absolutely.
when you talk like that around men, that's really a turnoff. And so the effects of not having somebody to really talk to, which is the reason why I think brothers gather in a safe space like a man cave, is really to help out, with health issues, lower blood pressure, and all of that kind of stuff. So the question that I have to ask, is there such a thing as a safe space for men?
And sitting here thinking about that while you were talking, I'm thinking about the times that we are in barbershops, or we're just with the fellas, we're with our male cousins or co-workers. Men don't like to talk about issues, and I think it comes from, it's almost what you would say traumatic, because growing up as young little boys, you can't cry, you can't say that this is hurting because you're a little boy. Little boys don't cry. Little boys don't, say this, that, and the other. And so as we get older, we bottle in so much stuff. So when we get around our, cohorts, or we get around our co-workers, family members, whomever, we don't say what we're really dealing with. But we start to flash out on the co-workers. We flash out on the wife, on the children, because we're internalizing things that we have not really talked about. And so for me, I feel like a safe space doesn't really exist now, but we can make it exist, if that makes sense.
I think that cultivating that safe space is important.
Yeah, I agree.
Right, you gotta cultivate it, and so I think that having the right friendships, having a trusted relationship, because not all relationships are trusting. You know how it is, and so if you have somebody that you can really talk to, somebody that you can vibe with, right, and somebody who you can share your innermost thoughts with, I think that will give you an opportunity to have that safe space. And if it's in the man cave, then good. If it's not in the man cave, then so be it. Just long as you have a space that you can release, right?
I agree with that, Pastor D. And one thing when you said that, I'm thinking about that could very well be the reason why men don't like to go to the doctor. Because they don't have that safe space to say something is wrong, I don't feel right, until something is wrong and it's too late. But if you have that safe space and I tell you, well, Pastor D, I'm having these issues, man, you need to check that out. You're my safe space at that point. I'm confiding in you, and then you'll tell me to go check it out to the doctor. Then that's when I make that move to the doctor. But I think that's why a lot of men don't like to go to the doctor. They don't want to be like these big wimps, if you will.
Well, look, Deb, I know that your profession is somehow tied to, clinical, not research, but
mental health.
I mean, so give us some pointers, man, and what you've come up with in your studies and stuff.
One thing is that I understand. Well, what we need to understand is that we have to have what we call active listening, and it's all healthy communication. And with active listening, we need to be able to fully understand what the speaker is saying, make full eye contact like you and I are making, and respond appropriately to that conversation. So sometimes you're talking to people and they don't fully give you their attention, or they're coming across as very dismissive. That's not how we communicate. That's not how we should be communicating, right? So I need to be an active listener, number one. Number two, I need to be clear and concise with my language. Now, my mom always made this, and it sticks with me to this day. She always says, straight talk make for straight understanding. Meaning that whatever I share with you, whatever I tell you, you should not be going, well, what did Dave say? What did he mean by that? I should be able to express myself to you in a way fully, or in which you're able to understand what it is that I'm saying. And then we also need to be respectful of body language. Maintaining open body language, so you're not so dismissive and so standoffish, or you putting this wall up. Be respectful of body language, and then of course empathy. Sharing your feelings with others, and then also making sure that you're showing some compassion as well too. So those are some of the things that we need to do as far as building healthy relationships when it comes to communication, especially with brothers.
Well, it sounds like a lot of the stuff you just talked about are segments and episodes for the future. Sometimes, Dave, when we have things going on in our lives, man, you find that you come across certain situations.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to ask you this question. Have you ever come across a situation that you that in your mind you're saying, hold on, wait a minute, time out. Come on, man, cut it out.
That happens every day, bro.
Time out.
Have you seen the state of what our country is going?
Oh yeah.
All
yeah.
right, so then
we got a lot of time out.
Time out. There we go.
Well, listen, I have Raphael Dexter. That's my son, my eldest son. Man, he put together. Now you know he comical.
He comical.
Man, he put together a time out segment.
I like it.
And it's good. I can't wait for it. So let's check it out. Let's take a look at it.
Time out. Ladies and gentlemen, can we just do away with talking on your phone on speaker in public? Because we don't want to hear your conversation. We don't even want to talk on the phone ourselves. We don't want to hear you talk on the phone. We don't want to hear who you talking on the phone with. So can you please just put the phone to your ear, put some earphones in, and just stop it? Because time out. Ugh. Time out. Can we please, when we're in our cars, if somebody cuts you off, we can't hear you. So stop fussing with us and you can't hear, and we can't even hear what you're saying. Just drive on. There's no need for that. Time out.
Damn, is that boy crazy or what, man?
But you know what's crazy about that is that I absolutely feel him on that. I hate to be in the store and somebody's on a speakerphone. I can't hear myself think. I can't find my food because I'm too busy being nosy listening to their conversation.
No, you know what the kicker is? Arguing.
Yeah.
On speakerphone,
Absolutely.
man. Do you know that around the world there's a place in another country where they're actually fining people for being on their cell phone on speaker?
I'm with him. Can we do that here in Louisiana? What we need to do? I'm with him. I hate it, man.
So now Raptor, he done started something.
He done
man.
started something.
So obviously, if they're fining people in that country,
Must be a lot
there's
of
gotta
people.
be a lot
There's
of
gotta be a
people
lot,
doing it.
yeah.
Because I know I see a lot of people doing it.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
Hey, Dev, man, I'm telling you, this has been an amazing
It has
time. Yeah, Inside the Man Cave, this first digital series is something that I think is going to really, really help out.
Yeah.
And so our vision is to really explore the thoughts and the emotions of men and bring practical and holistic ways of really challenging ourselves on how to deal with issues that men face. And so this is going to be a space that's going to be meaningful. The conversation is going to be honest. The dialogue is going to be something that's going to really be engaging. And it's going to be really aimed to break down those barriers and those challenges and stigmas that men face all the time. And so our goal is really to bridge the gap that often makes communication difficult for men. It's going to help us to be accountable, like some of the things that you talked about earlier, and having the right, or using the right ways to communicate. And so that's going to be really, really important. I know that Inside the Man Cave is going to be hilarious. We're going to have some funny moments. We're going to have some serious stuff we're going to deal with, man. We're going to pull back some layers. We're going to pull back some layers.
Yeah.
And some issues that men typically deal with. So you're watching us during this particular first episode of Inside the Man Cave digital series. We want you to connect with us. We want you to connect with us on YouTube. You can find us on YouTube. We want you to ring the bell. We want you to subscribe. We're going to get the listenership or the followership or the subscriptions up way, way high, because I know it's going to be a blessing. And then on Facebook and on Instagram, you can follow our pages there. And so it's going to be definitely out there for people to watch all the time. But remember this, every first and third Monday it's going to be fresh.
Yeah.
We're going to have new episodes. So thank you for joining us for another meaningful and impactful discussion. Thank you,
Yeah, I appreciate
Brother
it.
Deveron, for being on this first episode, man. Couldn't have did it without you. I really appreciate it. And so listen, if you want to get in touch with us, you can actually email us some of maybe your thoughts or your opinions, or even some topics that you like for us to discuss, some things that you like for us to cover. There's going to be a safe space, even though it's digital and it's going to be on a platform. It's going to be a safe space. And we want to hear from you. We want to hear from you. So you can email us at insidethemancave@gmail.com. Insidethemancave@gmail.com. Give us your thoughts. Send us in some of your topics that you'd like us to cover. And we look forward to being with you inside the Man Cave, the digital series. I'm your host, Pastor Nelson Dexter Jr. I look forward to seeing you once again.
Yeah.